All right, AEW Dynamite, along with the Full Gear predictions. I was like, I'm doing a combo because I was like, I called everything late, but I thought it was a really good go home show. For the most part, I was like, there were tidbits in there that was like, but I was like, they got straight to the point because they got to for the pay per view. But I was like I was gonna say Will Canales, um, the family versus Ricochet, Hobbs, Osprey, and Mark. I was like versus Takeshita, Fletcher, Archer, Cage, and stuff like that. I was like, really good match. I was like, showcasing Hobbs, of course, the build with old Osprey and Fletcher. Um, Ricochet was there, I guess. Kind of like Lisa Mark Andrew played. I mean, not Andrew, Mark. I'm just I'm getting stuff mixed up. But I was like, was able to play a part in the whole role of the dynamic of the Osprey Fletcher match. But I was like I said, it was a fun match. You had a whole bunch of people that was in here that's really good, and different people to also show different. Like it's like I was like, yes, it was big men slapping meat, but in there, but also you got speed guys, and I also just really like the Kesha. Um, so with that being said, I was like, Ricochet, is it going to be Takesha? I don't. There had been nothing that Ricochet had done since he sort of gotten there for me to be like he's going to take that off of him. Eventually, sure, maybe, but right now, no. I was like, to be honest, they haven't even really seemed like they've really been building that match. To be honest, I was like, it's been like a couple things here and there, but there hasn't really been nothing here that I feel like I'm like with everybody else that's on the card. I was like, everybody else has been doing segments and stuff like that I at least not only is just interested in, but can see how it can be like, well, maybe. I don't really see that with here, so I was like, Takesha will take that match. Also with that, Osprey and Fletcher, I was like, I am liking this whole thing with Fletcher or whatnot with Osprey. I was like, and I was like, well, I know it's something that's been building. I was like, they have really like ramped it up really also at the same time to where I was like, it probably will be one of the better matches of the night. But it's gonna be Osprey. I was like, he gonna get his lick back. I was like, I mean, don't get me wrong. I was like, I would like it to see if Fletcher, win this one or whatever like that. But I think that Fletcher's going to lose this one so that it can continue because his whole motivation is basically to beat Osprey at some point. Basically, master. I would like student becomes the teacher kind of thing. Ooh, discombobulate. But yeah, that's how that one's how that one's going to go. Like I said, which was the other way around. But I'm fine if we got more of it as well too. I like they're gonna try to build this whole dynamic, especially amongst the three of them as well too. I don't think Mark is gonna turn it on like that. He might just give up and just bounce out of it. I was like I'll also go to the whole Swerve and Bobby Lashley. I like that the way that Swerve. I like how like Swerve is the baby face here, but he's not a punk in any of this as well too. So it's like him just decking Bobby Lashley with the chain around his fist like that at the very beginning of the night with the promo. I was like, I like that bouncing up out of there, and then at night basically, during after Bobby destroyed two people, him getting the one up on him and doing all that stuff. I was like, I like that too because I was like, it's not kind of like he doesn't have to do babyface thing. He don't even have to really be like anti-hero either. So I was like, I like how they sort of bounce that back in. But he's going to lose against Bobby Lashley. You are not going to bring in big old Bobby Lashley to come in and lose right away. I was like, it will destroy his aura a lot more than Swerve, who can lose at the moment. Swerve is a big enough name. I was like, Swerve got all the strength on his side to basically lose. The Hurt Syndicate needed the wins that they got. That's why I said I was surprised that Swerve beat Shelton a couple weeks ago, and it wasn't just like some like DQ match or something like that, because I was just like, you want to keep them all sort of strong in a sense. So, but and then this will keep this going for a while as well too. So I was like, I Swerve ain't gonna let that go either if he loses. So with that, you're good. While it was no match, I was like MJF cut a promo on Roderick Strong, and I was like, you could just tell the difference of him cutting a promo versus Roderick. Cause I was like, it's not that I was like, I never heard Roderick Strong like cut a promo, but I was like, this one because he has to be babyface and considering the stuff that was all said about him and his family and stuff like that, there's really no way for you to come back to really say anything that isn't other than I'ma just show you, I'ma just beat you up, I'ma basically like that don't mean nothing to me. I've been hearing that all my life kind of thing. There was really nothing he could do except for take the high road with all that. With that being said, MJF's going to win. He probably is going to beat the hell out of Roderick Strong in order to have a reaction out of Adam Cole at some point, because that's not going to also go away either. So I was like, MJF is going to win that one. Plus, I was like, he hadn't really been doing anything either. So it probably going to look like some rustiness. You know, they'll play into like the rustiness factor, but then it just kind of just like, yeah, he's just going to deck Roderick Strong. I was like the Chris Statlander. I was like Sheeta. I was like really good match. I'm starting to like. I like Sheeta. I've seen her in a couple of her matches on AEW and stuff like that. And Chris Statlander is a real powerhouse and stuff like that. But she moves really well with all that. But Mone comes out basically, you know, to try to interrupt their little friendly because they had like a sparring moment between good competition or whatever. Chris Statlander put Mone on her head. And this one's tricky because Statlander has been getting the best of Mone a lot of time. But we know that Mone with Camille can do some hijinks and whatever. The thing is, though, Mariah May doesn't have nobody really for that championship right now. She's having a champagne moment at Full Gear, which is crazy that, you know, she got a title and she's not facing anybody. So on one hand, I would say if I was just thinking regularly, just based off how they was, I would be like, oh, Mone's gonna win. You know, Statlander and all that she does. You know, where it's like, but Statlander could go ahead and, you know, all this stuff for nothing. But Mercedes having that title can drop it to Statlander, who will have that title again and be able to do as she wishes with it, or as they wish with it. But now you can insert Mercedes into the main title picture. Give May somebody to really banter with, really do things with, and see how that goes. Yes, there's two kind of heels right now, but that really doesn't matter like that in AEW. To where it's like, I can see Statlander winning against Mone just for that opportunity to have. Because it's like, after that, you know, then it starts getting a little tricky on both sides. And I was like, you know, and you don't want her necessarily to hold it hostage, even though that she's doing a good job with at the same time. You know what I'm saying? Like it's different when you hold the main championship up more so than the mid card ones in some aspects, just because it's like it opens up the door for more people. Because I was like, there's a lot of people who you can't see with the main championship that you have with the mid, but if the person that has the mid is really like a star talent, then it's a lot difficult in that respect. Yeah. So I was like, other AEW matches, I was like, Private Party, I think they're gonna win that one. They just got their titles after beating the Elite, which is a big thing that I'm like, there's no way that they're gonna lose, especially to the Acclaim, or I was like the Outrunners, which I was like the Outrunners are the only one I really don't know. But and the Kings of Black, while that'd be cool, I just don't see them really doing anything with them either. But I was like, Private Party just beat the Elite, and that was a big, huge storyline. So I was like, they're not gonna let them lose their momentum off of that, cause then what do you do with them? No, let them ride this high. We had Adam Hangman Page, you know, cutting a promo with Jay White, and it was intriguing as well too, because Jay White has beaten Adam Page at every turn, so it makes you think that, okay, Adam gonna get the win, but they could just keep that streak going with Jay. I really don't know which way they would really have this go. I would say let Adam win, because I feel like his character and momentum, I was like, could keep going. I was like, I don't think a loss hurts him either. But Jay White also has doesn't mean it's really directionless. I know they got the Continental Classic coming up, so that might be able to change something. So I was like, I haven't seen anything, but if say they're in the same bracket, I mean the same little pundit square, Then I would say that I would have Jay win just so that Adam has to face Jay again in some type of way and finally beats him in like the classic for the girls, like or something like that. But I was like, I'm gonna go with Adam. I'm gonna go with Adam though to get the win. I think he gets the full on win. We also had Darby Allin versus uh, Claudio, and I like the way that Darby lost. I don't know if this helps in the fact that he, if he is supposed to face Mox at some point and win, but Claudio did his thing, beat him, and pretty decisively too. And I was like, so that sort of makes it weird with Darby of like yeah, we love the raw and all the fire and all that, but you keep getting your ass handed to you, handed. Which I can understand that the whole thing is that when it is time for him to do something, he shocks the world. So I get that or whatever. I was like, that's to me like the Jeff Hardy where it's like him facing the Undertaker kind of thing, where it was like we didn't see it, but he kept on coming, and he wouldn't stop, kind of thing. So I was like, I could get it, but right now, no. Which goes to basically, I was like Mox and Orange Cassidy, but before that, I was like Daniel Garcia and Jack Perry. I also don't know with this one either. I was like, on one hand, I was like Daniel Garcia should get the win because Jack Perry being part of with the elite and they haven't been around. They lost their titles. Everybody just lose their titles. But then I was like, I forgot his name, but the Rain Man still got his title. So I can see that coming out to necessarily help Daniel Garcia. I was like, I say Jack Perry wins because I was like Garcia could keep on always chasing that more so than what does Perry do after that. I was like, that's a different dynamic. But the Mox and Orange Cassidy, we know Mox is going to win, but the match he had against Wheeler Yuta was really good. Even though at the end, he basically was getting it, he got his ass beat, but hey, he was still staying up tall. I was like, this whole turn with Cassidy is always good when he gets to the serious mode, but John Mox is going to take it. There's no way he's going. That's not. I was like, we don't even know what the full extent of his world order or thing is or whatever he's about to take over. So you ain't going to end that now. Orange Cassidy's going to lose, probably hella bad in some form of way, and either Darby or somebody else is going to show up in a way that's going hopefully. Because I was like, you don't want it to end where just like he just you could end it where he just bloody and then it's addressed later on. But we got to see who's the next other person that's going to help outside of just Darby, But anyway, that was the review combined with some full gear predictions. Who you think is going to win? Let me know. What do you think? Maybe I was like, am I thinking too much? It is too much rock, paper, scissors, and I'm trying to figure out the next person. Let me know. But anyway, all day, every day, no problem. We got this. Peace. I'm out.